Oh, didn't see you guys there. Today I'm gonna show you how I built this fitness rack in just 6 hours. Let's get into it. I brought the wood I just bought at the lumberyard over to my grandpa's because he has a miter saw, so I can cut everything exactly to length and right angles because I need 45-degree angle cuts. At the lumberyard, after I paid, I noticed that one of the beams was cracked along the complete length, but they were so kind to give me a new one for free. These are the metal brackets that I bought, 90-degree and 45-degree angles, and they are very heavy duty, so the build will be very stable. Right now I'm just laying everything on the floor to see if everything fits and is correctly cut. The horizontal beams you can see right now will be removable to make for easy storage and transportation. The key component when it comes to stability are the 45-degree angle studs that are very accurately cut so that the whole thing will be stable in the end. And it will be fortified with the metal brackets. When you look to the right now, you can see a little imperfection in the wood, but that'll be taken care of later on. Also measuring and marking everything so that it'll be completely square and symmetrical and just completely right, as it should be. A scrap piece of wood is always helpful for marking. Now I'm marking where I need to pre-drill my holes for the brackets. I should have used a spacer block because the beams were a little bit wider than the brackets, but although they are not completely center right now, they still do their job pretty good. Puncturing holes so my drill has a firm grip when it goes into the wood and doesn't go all over the place and drills a fine and straight cut. Right now I'm just using a little metal bit, actually, I guess, in my drill, which I occasionally switch out for a screw bit, so I don't have to use a screwdriver all the time, because yeah, all those screws, my wrists wouldn't probably not be able to handle it. My screwdriver is still there because the holes close to the upright beam, they were too close for my drill to go there. Make sure to put a lot of effort in marking everything out perfectly, because otherwise you may run into problems later on and we don't want that. Let me explain my foolproof approach to this. So I first marked and drilled 2 holes where I inserted my screws. When they are inserted, you can double check if everything is flush and straight and all that. So right now you're way more accurate at drilling holes. You could do another dry fit, or when you're confident as I am, you can immediately apply glue. Always read the instruction and precaution label on the glue, because right now I'm using construction-based PU or polyurethane glue, and yeah, that can be very harmful, so I don't want anyone getting hurt. Pre-drilling is good for 2 reasons. For one, the screw goes in way more easily, so your wrist won't get tired and you don't have any chance of the wood splitting on you. Right now you can see on this picture that the polyurethane glue really expands and makes a firm connection. My beautiful contraption over here is to make sure that the stud is exactly 45 degrees and it doesn't move. That makes for easy drilling and accurate drilling foremost. It's an old drill and it doesn't move as smooth as it did in the beginning, so you really have to keep turning until it's open, not give it a good flick and it keeps opening or closing. You have to really put in a lot of effort in changing the bit every time, which can be quite annoying after a while. The clamps right now are just for temporarily holding everything in its place. Things tend to slide because the wood is really smooth, but yeah, they were really helpful. Same approach as before, few screws in, marking the holes and then drilling the holes. Was a little bit too eager with the glue, so I marked the holes, then applied glue and then drilled the holes. So that was not completely the right order, but still worked out in the end, no problem. But yeah, should have used the clamps again to hold everything in place. Would have made my life way easier, because right now, yeah, screw goes in crooked, had to take it back out. But yeah, the end product, it's really beautiful, but the execution is not always perfect. What I also noticed, I put the top screw in first and then the 45-degree screws after that, and you can see a little gap between the wood and the upright beam right now, but the PU glue will set out and make it a sturdy bond. And after that, it's just doing the same thing over and over until all pieces are assembled. Bottom right, you can see the little spacer I used so that the brackets would be in the center of the wood. This is how I fixed the imperfection. I chiseled the piece out, glued the scrap piece I used earlier in there, and then made everything flush, as you can see right now on the left. Right now I'm pre-drilling the holes for the screws that will make the removal of the horizontal beams possible. These are the screws I will be using. I will make the end flush. You'll see me do it in a bit. The first part will slide right through, and only the end, which I am marking out right now, will be small enough so that the screw has grip. I used a little bit of tape. That's the easiest and cheapest solution. Always use protection. I'm talking about putting wood in a vise, of course. So I have two scrap pieces of wood that I put between the metal of the vise and the wood, so you don't make any disgusting marks. So right now I am making the first part of the hole a little bit wider so the screw slides in smoothly, and I'm making it so that the screw sits flush. Putting the screws in with a wrench takes quite some time, but luckily you don't have to disassemble the thing every day. These are the metal barbell holders I made. You could make them out of wood, but then you have to go really thick and beefy, and it's not as elegant as this metal one. Maybe you could buy them, I don't know, I made them myself. This is the complete structure I made without the pull-up bar. The pull-up bar installation was really easy. You just drill a hole that is equally wide as your bar. In my case it was 26 millimeters. And if you want to know the functions of this bar, because it has more functions than only being a pull-up bar, please go check my other video on fitness rack. I got it shipped out to my friend and he has used it, but he's a beast and he uses two heavy weights for the brackets. They did bend a little bit, but don't worry, he didn't get hurt. I'm going to remake the brackets out of thicker metal. I will post the final product to Instagram, so look out for that. If you like this video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and see you guys next time.